Hello, my name is AJ Welch, and this is my documentary about esports. In this documentary, I'll be going over what esports is, things that I've done to compete in esports, esports gyms, and an interview with the coach of the esports team. If you're unfamiliar with esports or have never heard of it, it's short for electronic sports, and it's pretty much just competitive gaming or professional gaming, whether it be in front of thousands of people or just competing at home. If you want to become good enough to be able to compete in esports, you're going to want to practice a lot, and something that may help with that is the esports gyms.
The headline here, Japan is opening its first ever esports gym in Tokyo, where people can book 3-hour slots at PCs and pay for coaching from professional gamers. It says similar spaces have opened in Singapore and South Korea, and this is the first one in Japan. It will be known as Esports Gym. There's monthly memberships at $50. You can pay $25 an hour.
Esports gyms are great and all, but when you're at my skill level, they're pretty much useless. In my life, there are many ways that I've competed in esports. For example, playing in tournaments both in person and online. But one that sticks out to me the most is on last season playing for the Rocket League team. Last season, we were a very good team, and we ended up making it to the Final Four of the state championship of Massachusetts. We were also fortunate enough to be interviewed by BCAT and put on their YouTube channel.
Esports are formally recognized internationally, collegiately, and at the high school level. Your Burlington Red Devils are going to the state championship. Team captain AJ Welch.
We all are a part of the esports team, and so we all play Rocket League. Right now, we are fortunate enough to be in the top 4 for the state championship of Massachusetts.
Please enjoy this brief highlight reel from this past season.
I'm up.
Damn. Hello? Oh, beautiful.
Good shot.
I saw you up there.
Oh my
Good
god.
play, dude.
Oh my god. That was sexy.
Oh, yeah, that was beautiful.
Oh my god.
That was nice.
What? Just a save? That'll. Oh, hot Nashville chicken sandwich. Yeah.
Oh my goodness, how did he do that?
You're welcome, kid.
No
Oh my
way.
god. Oh my god. Oh my god. That was sexy. That was nice as
I hope you enjoyed that brief highlight reel. Now that we know what the players can do, let's see what Coach Wong has to say about esports. So for our interview here, we have Coach Wong of the esports team, better known as Mr. Wong of Help Desk. So
Thanks for having me.
Of course. So how were you introduced to competitive gaming?
I guess I've known about competitive gaming for a while. So, even before your, era or the modern era of competitive gaming, I guess there have always been contests and whatnot for gaming. So I never was a participant, but it was something that I was aware of. a few years ago when like Fortnite became really big, that was a game that people would compete in. So I've known about it probably for like a pretty long time. I guess as far as like the high school level, we've had some students compete in that. We haven't gotten to the level of, say, your Rocket League team in terms of the teams that competed with that. But whatever you like to play, whether it's like a sports game or a first-person shooter, also like, even if you like Nintendo games like Mario Kart or whatever, you can compete in them.
And so, what would you say is most exciting about being the coach of the Rocket League team?
Well, I mean, I think it's been fun getting to know you all, honestly, as people. So I think as far as like Rocket League goes, it was a game that I didn't really know about, and then essentially like I knew some students had played it, even before you. And it seemed like an interesting game. I've tried to play it myself, not well, obviously, but it's just been interesting kind of watching you all compete. And even though like I'm nominally your coach, you all kind of coach yourselves. I think.
So would you say that esports is more or less or equally as exciting as traditional sports like football, soccer,
Right.
hockey?
I mean, it's a very different thing, and I've actually tried to explain this to some people because I'm probably, frankly, of the generation where most people I talk to, or even people a little younger than I am, I explain it to them and they're like, so people actually watch other people playing games? And I'm like, yeah, they do. And so I guess maybe if you don't play the game or you don't have the best sense of how the game works, then it might not be so exciting. But I think once you sort of understand like the game mechanics and just sort of see how the games work, it can be exciting. So I think you've said like with Rocket League, it's like car soccer. So if you explain that to people, they're like, okay, I don't understand what that means. But then once you sort of see it, and you see like the cars like flying through the air and kind of like the moves that you make, it's an exciting thing. I know that some people kind of downplay it and you're like, okay, you're just pushing buttons. And it's like, okay, well, you are doing that, but it is a skill. And, maybe you're not using like every single part of your body or whatever, like a traditional sport or what have you. But there's still skill, there's still strategy, there's still excitement, I think, once you learn how the game works. So, and I think that's being seen, as I said, at all levels now, so obviously.
What exactly would you say to your players before like a big game to get them ready?
Well, it is kind of interesting. So I feel a little bit bad because I think during Ronan's era, it was just like, okay, I just sort of set the guys up, and like sometimes I wouldn't even watch the match, right? And actually probably most of the times I did. And I think, part of it was me just sort of, frankly, being busy with my main job as a teacher, and then sometimes it wasn't. It just didn't work out kind of like timing wise. But I think probably starting with your group, we would have like chats like on Discord or whatever, or we would just, try to figure out, or have, I would just try to motivate you guys and just try to figure out when you all would practice and just kind of prepare for like the next match or whatever. So, one thing that I regret somewhat is maybe not having someone to be an assistant coach. And so I think that's something I need to kind of figure out for the future, or maybe bringing back former players like yourself, whatever, and just saying like, hey, could you kind of work with the group and like sort of watch them play, scrimmage or whatever, give us some pointers and things like that. So I think that's one thing that I do regret, and I still think we've had great success. So obviously we went to the Final Four, so to speak, this year, and I think that was a great accomplishment. So I'm hoping we can kind of continue that. But yeah, so my regret is that we don't have better coaching, so to speak, not just motivation, but like actual helping you look at your gameplay and your strategies and figuring out like ways to kind of get better over time.
All right, thank you. That's all the questions for today.
You're welcome.
Thank you for your time.
Sure. Good luck.